Hi guys, welcome back. Today is April 2nd, 2018. My name is Laura and I come to you from Northern California. A big thank you to all those who watched that first podcast. It was a nervous time, but I've gotten really good feedback and I just thank you for watching and giving me that feedback. Thank you for those who subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you to all of you viewers who are coming back to watch my episode number 2. So where can you find me? My name is Laura, like I said, and I am on Instagram, YouTube, Ravelry, and Etsy, all under Just Yarn and Designs. And it's the same for all of those. You can just type me in there and under Just Yarn and Designs, and you should be able to find me. So what am I wearing today is the Lily cardigan. I showed this in the last podcast, and but today it's a really nice summer day. Here's the back detail on that as well. So it's a beautiful California sunny day, but oftentimes in the mornings or in the evenings, it is a little bit chilly, so just nice to have a very lightweight, it's a fingering weight sweater. I knit this, so let me give you details real quick. It's a Lily cardigan from Amy Self Lin Lin. This was her first pattern, as I mentioned in the last episode. And it is knit on US 6 4mm needles for the body, and then a US 4 3.55mm circular needles. I use ChiaoGoo's. Most of the time when you hear me talk about needles and which needles I'm using, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a ChiaoGoo circular needle. That's my go-to. I just got a new set, which I showed on the last podcast, and I'm using it a ton. I really like it. Super easy to use. I love how you can quickly change out the needles. So when I was working on the braid cap, which I'll show later in the finished objects, I needed to go up a needle size for after I did the ribbing, I think. I can't remember exactly when, but it was so easy just to kind of like push everything back to one side and put the new needle size on, then push it all to the other side, put the next needle size on, and it was so easy because then I didn't, or maybe, you know what, I'm getting it mixed up. So when I was down at the cap and I wanted to do more of a magic loop so I didn't have to go to DP-ins because I really don't like DP-ins. But when I got down to the end there, I needed a longer cable on there. So I was able to change the cables by putting it all on the needles, changing out the cables, and then just starting with my magic loop to finish the cap part off. But yeah, I'll show that in my finished object. So I hope that made sense. But anyways, I love the ChiaoGoo Twist interchangeable set. It's a really great go-to set. I'm super glad that I got that and that I've been using it. So yeah, I'll put the pattern name and where to find it on Ravelry down below. And so let's just get right into it. It was so fun last time, you guys. I just have to tell you, it was so fun to chat about all the things that I was working on, chat about my passion about knitting, and I'm really glad that I get to do it again today. So it's been about 2 weeks since my last podcast, and it seems to be a good time, so we'll keep going with that. I have show notes, but sometimes I just go off on little tangents, and that's okay too. We're just chatting, having fun. So, my work's in progress. Let's see. So in the last podcast, I mentioned a pair of socks that I had that have kind of become more of a UFO, and I'm gonna finish these socks. I love the yarn, and so this is my project bag here. I made it myself. I make all my own project bags, although I would like to make another one, or buy another one. There are so many cute project bags out there. So this is the Central Park socks. Here's the pattern. So this is one that I had done last year in the New York sock collection by Mina Phillips. And I loved it so much. I'd actually given this one away to my stepmom, and I loved the yarn that I used. I loved the pattern, and so I wanted to make another pair for myself because I really did I enjoyed the knit. It gives a lot of detail with very little work, I feel. So here's the, it might be hard to see, but there's the pattern there. When you stretch it out, you can see it just has a lot of detail. Here, let's go with this one here. But maybe that's a little bit better. So like I said, I like this. I usually don't repeat patterns, but this one was definitely a good one to repeat. So the yarn that I am using is, my ball here is kind of a mess, but that's okay. So I use this in the shawl, in the color changing shawl that I showed last week that I was wearing. And I loved this color so much that I wanted to make a pair of socks out of it. So this is the Invictus yarn. The sock base is Masters of My Feet. Colorway is Disguises. And it's a superwash merino, 20% nylon, 80 merino, 20 nylon, 400 yards, 100 gram. So the funny thing about this is I purchased this yarn when I went to a local yarn festival. It's called Lambtown in Dixon, California. And I was at this gal's booth, at the Invictus Yarn booth, and I'll put her information down below as well because she does have a store on Etsy. So I was looking around her shop, and when I buy yarn, I'm very strategic. I don't want to spend the money on something that I'm not going to love. So I look and I just really try to make a great purchase. And so I picked up this colorway, I think in an MCN blend. I picked this up in a DK weight. I picked up the same color like 3 different times. And I was talking with the owner and I said, this just must be my color because I've picked it up 3 different times. So that's my color. So I used it in the shawl, and I have plenty to finish my socks. I did do a gray custom colorway for the heel, and I'll do it for the toes as well. But I love this yarn. I'm using ChiaoGoo's, surprise, 1.5 on for this one. I go between a 1 and a 1.5 40-inch circular needle. Now, I know that I can buy these needles on Amazon, pretty inexpensive, but I really enjoy supporting the local businesses, the local dyers that are around me. So when I go to a local yarn festival, I would rather purchase there, or small dyers online, that type of thing. But so I bought those needles at my local yarn store. They ordered them for me. They were there really quickly, and they're really not overly priced. I don't feel at all. It's not as quick as Amazon, but I really feel like it's important to support local businesses, small businesses. I just feel like it's just kind of what keeps the community alive. So I really, really enjoy that. So shout outs to small businesses. So that's yarn store that I frequent quite often is Yarns on First in Napa, California. Really nice ladies. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast. So really, really great ladies. So the New York sock collection is individual for purchase now as well. I don't know if she has the individual patterns for sale or if you have to buy them all together. I can't remember how it was set up after the knit along was over, but that was last year's, and I enjoyed every single one of those patterns last year. And, I think I mentioned this, that there were some that maybe were not my favorite. Maybe it was just the technique or whatnot, but I loved the pattern itself. Was really great. And her patterns are really easy to follow as well. So head on over to her Ravelry shop. That's the Knitting Expat. Mina Phillips is the designer behind those. Next work in progress is my Ramble shawl. So this was in the queue on my last podcast, and I went ahead and cast on. I designed my yarn for it. So these are custom colorways. It's a light pink and a light gray. So I'm sure I could repeat these colorways, but I just did it. I didn't take notes because I was just doing it for myself. So these colorways, and I didn't realize it when I was dyeing these, and even when they were in a cake, they're pretty baby girl kind of colors, but I'm just going with it. I think I'll really enjoy it when it's done. I think it will just be very soft, but I'm just in the garter section here. I'm learning a couple new techniques as I go along that I haven't done in a pattern yet. So nothing difficult at all, but just a different way to do the increases and, leave some stretch that I haven't done before. So that's kind of neat. I enjoyed learning new techniques, as I've mentioned. But I'm really excited to get to the brioche part. I've watched so many videos on brioche, and I just cannot wait till I get there. So I'm trying to knit this up like a madwoman to finish that. And so I'm knitting these on, surprise, ChiaoGoo's. These are US 7 4.5 millimeter 40-inch circular needles from ChiaoGoo, the red lace. So that's the Ramble Shawl by Andrea Mowry. Oh, look, I even have my pattern. There we go. Okay, I'm really loving Andrea Mowry's designs. She is just so unique. I don't know, like her patterns just speak to me. I think I'm going to probably buy like 1,000 more of her patterns. I just love them. Super easy to follow too. They're written really nicely so far. I really like her patterns a lot. So I'm sure you'll see more of those things to come in the future. My last project that I have on the needles, and I only have 3 projects this time to show you guys, but it's my Coziest Memory blanket. So this will come up every podcast for a while. I'm actually in the middle of a square right now, but so I've done some work over here on the bottom. These have been, I am at 86 and a half squares right now, and I was at 70 something last time. I can't remember exactly, but so I've made some progress. But this is just a little custom colorway. Let's see, so this is how it's knitting up there. So I don't know if I've mentioned this, but as a dyer, I have these little 5-gram mini skeins all ready to go. And whenever I'm dyeing, I will put 1 or 2 into the dye bath. And sometimes if it's a multicolor process, maybe I'll put 1 on one side of the pot and 1 on the other side of the pot, and they come out completely different. Sometimes I'll wrap it within the skein to make it more look just like the skein, but it's really fun for me to do that. I have created many different colorways for my blanket doing that. If I do a bigger mini skein, then I will give some to a friend. But so I mentioned last time that there's some other gals in my knitting group that I go to on Thursday nights that are doing these blankets. And so we all share yarn. Well, one of the gals in my group, she decided to start a Coziest Memory blanket. And that makes me so happy because she saw it on the podcast and she goes, I'm going to start one now. And so she did her first square and it was so cute. But what I love now is like we have somebody else to share with. And, she'll give us, the people who are already doing it, she'll give us her leftover yarns. We'll give her our leftover yarns. So I'm in the process of putting together a lot of my leftover yarns for her. But it's just so fun. I would highly, highly encourage you guys to do a scrap blanket. And again, it's one of those projects that really, it's not a stressful thing. It's on the needles constantly, but it's a square here, a square there. It's easy to pick up. It's easy to bring with me. I brought it to my son's baseball game last week and worked on it. Got, I think, a square and a half done, but it's just easy to pick up and put down. One of my tips, actually, is I put on my right side of my work so that it's just easy and more, it makes things more automatic, is on my decrease round. So on my right side, I put something kind of annoying and obvious right here where I do my decrease. And I'll move it up as I go along. But that way I just know when I see that, it's time to, it's the decrease round. So that's one of my little tips. Somebody had asked, hey, what's that marker there for? Are you counting your stitches or counting your rows? And nope, I just use it as a quick mental, it's time to do a decrease round. So yeah, okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and go over my acquisitions because it has to do with the Coziest Memory Blanket. And as I mentioned, we're sharing yarns. So reach back here. Because my only acquisition is right now are just little samples. So my girlfriend went to Stitches West and she had gotten an extra one of these little skeins. It's I don't know, like a light medium blue. It's not really showing up very well. There we go. That's all that there. But it's a 20 gram skein-ish. 20, I don't know. It's 80 superwash merino wool, 20 polyamide. It's 25 grams. So there's enough for 5 squares in here. So what I'm going to divide it up and give a little ball to everybody that is in my knitting group that is doing a blanket. So that is one little acquisition there. And then my girlfriend said she wasn't going to put this in hers, so I'm going to put it in mine. But it's got a little bit of stellina in there, but I like that bright color. And then this was from my friend in my knitting group as well. She just finished a shawl out of this, and it's a single ply, but I've done single ply in my blanket, and it is totally fine. It's a little bit squishier, I guess, but it's good. I like it. So those are all my acquisitions. Not too exciting, I understand, but you know, it is what it is. I typically don't buy yarn every week. I would love to, but that's just not in the budget. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, okay, so finished objects next on the list. I finished the Barnstable shawl. It went so fast, you guys. It was such an easy knit, but a phenomenal, like, end product. Like, look at this. Oh my goodness, right? Got my crazy hair. I got teenagers in the house and they all have long hair. So we are dealing with hair constantly here. But yeah, I mean, like, look at, it's gorgeous. I love the colors. So remember, the colors were Swan Island and Dove and Eucalyptus. It's a DK weight. I use the ChiaoGoo circular needles, a US size 6 and a US size 7. The only thing that I really modified on the pattern was the end. Let's see, let's go down here. So this eucalyptus color here on the bottom, I just extended it another ½ inch or so. I just wanted a little bit more color down here on the bottom, and I could have gone even more. I had, gosh, almost 100 grams left than what the pattern called, and when I had that much yarn left, and I bought 50 gram skein, so I could have actually bought one less skein of yarn. But when I had that much left over, I had to kind of go back and reread the pattern, thinking, did I do something wrong? Did I not do a repeat somewhere? But I followed the pattern. So the eucalyptus, the green color, I'm actually going to add into my sweater. The Starfall, which I shared last time, the Starfall Colorwork sweater that I want to try. I'm really excited about it. I have not cast it on yet, and it's not in the immediate future, but it's there. So, but the eucalyptus color goes so well with the other colors that I chose. And if you remember, I had done a beetroot or beet red color for the main body, and then I had done a shiitake mushrooms, like a lighter brown and a light pink. And then I omitted one of the colors just to save a little bit of money, because 2 of the skeins I just needed 100 grams of each. So I just thought, well, 100 yards, not 100, just 100 yards. So I thought I would just repeat the color in there. Well, this eucalyptus color that I have from this shawl works so well with that whole color schematic that I'm just going to add it in as that fourth color. And so I just feel like it's kind of a bonus. I do have leftovers, but I think I'll definitely be able to use it. So I'm really excited about putting that green in that sweater. So bonus for me, because that's really exciting. And then last time I talked about the bray shawl. So here's my, all right, we'll put it on here. Let's see. Okay, so cute little pom-pom. I love the fit of this. I talked about the tubular cast on last time. You know, I really couldn't, I don't know, I'm not sold on it. But I mean, you can see it does give a nice finished edge. I like it, but it was pretty time consuming. I don't know if I would do it again, but I don't know, maybe it'll go faster the next time. But I really love the cabling on this. Here we go. So it's like a pink with some gray undertones. And then this is a pom-pom from Knit Picks. Super cheap. They're just a few dollars. I think I'm going to get more because it was really easy to put on. Super soft and squishy. I love it. But I cannot wait to wear this hat next winter. And last time I didn't know what the colorway was, but I found the tag for it. So this is a Madeline Tosh. So it's a vintage yarn in the calligraphy colorway. It's a worsted weight. So it's 100% merino wool, worsted weight, 200 yards for 182 meters. There we go. Love this colorway. And love the pom-pom. So those are my two finished objects. But like I said, the Barnstable went really, really quick, I feel. So, and so did the hat. I mean, it's a hat. So next in the queue. So like I said, that I enjoy the first of the month for a couple different reasons. The Dutch Bro stickers come out, and I love the Dutch Bro sticker. I'm trying to see if I have it. I had it, and I meant to show you guys. Maybe I'll take a picture and put it up on the screen. But super cute little sticker this month, and yeah, so first of the month there. But then also the Sock Club came out with another pattern April 1st. I just get a little notice in my Ravelry account saying that I have an update waiting for me. So this is part of the Cozy Sock collection. Remember, Mina Phillips is doing two sock collection, the Wanderlust and the Cozy Sock. So on the even months, you get a Cozy Sock collection pattern, and you have 2 months to finish it before she draws for prices and whatnot. So this is her newest one. It's called Nestled, if you can see that. So, and this is the yarn that I'm going to do it out of. So here's my main colorway, and it is by Duran Dye Works. Okay, so she also has an Etsy shop. Go check it out. It's super cute. I loved a lot of her yarn. So I got this one also at the Lambtown Festival in Dixon, California. It was, gosh, almost maybe a year ago-ish or so. I can't remember. I cannot remember what month it is in. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But this is on her glitzy sock, so it does have some stellina in there. It's so pretty, you guys. So what she did an ice bath on this. That's what she told me when I was talking with her. So it's 75 superwash merino, 2% nylon. I think there's a mistake. I think it's 20% nylon and 5% stellina. It's 438 yards to 100 grams, and the colorway is Fire and Ice. So I'll put her Etsy shop link down below, but go check it out. And then this is going to be my toes and cuff, or no, toes and heel. And this is just something that I already had. I don't know the name of it. I don't know where I got it. It's just been in my stash for a while. I use it a lot for just being a tonal purple. It goes well with a lot of things, so I use this a lot for accent colors and things. So I'll probably cast that on tomorrow. Who am I fooling? I don't need to cast on anything else, but I need another pair of socks on the needles apparently. So that's next in the queue. The Starfall sweater is still in the queue as well. Let's see, I've already gone over acquisitions. So couple tips that I want to give you guys. I made this myself, and I'm working on getting a PDF together so that I can send these out to you guys, but maybe in a nicer format. But what this is, it's a sock ruler. So I just took a piece of cardstock and a ruler, and made my own little ruler on there, laminated it. I have a cheap laminator from Costco. And then I put on there, can you see like the Logan? So here's Logan's, Logan is my son. So this is like how big his foot is right here. But then this is where I need to start the toe. And then this is me, that's my husband. This thing works like a charm. So if you can create one for yourself, I highly recommend it. But again, I'm gonna try to create a PDF so I can just send it out to you guys if you want. I'll show you how it works. Let me grab my pair of socks that I have here on the needles. So what I do is I start down here, I put this into my sock, and I put it all the way in the heel. There we go. I'm not pushing way down on it, but just making sure that it's snug, having a little bit of stretch, because that's how it's going to fit in your foot, realistically. But then I know when I get to here, then I can start doing the decreases for the toe. So I like to see the progress. So I'll take this out, every little bit and kind of see how far I've gotten on my progress. But this is really easy to make at home. It's essentially free. I had everything that I needed to make this work, and it was free, and it works beautifully. And if it got lost or ruined, it really wouldn't be the end of the world. I write with Sharpie, and when you write with Sharpie, I had made a mistake on here for my husband's socks, but when you write with Sharpie, you can take alcohol and just rub it off, and it'll come right off. And then, so if you're doing it for your kids, then if their feet are growing or whatnot, then you can change it as they grow, and you wouldn't have to make yourself another ruler. But I write on the laminate part, not on the paper part. So I write with a Sharpie. And then I am doing a different color for everybody. I still have to put my girls' feet on there, but they're pretty similar in size to me. So it works well for all three of us, I guess. So yeah, so that's my first tip. Make yourself a sock ruler. It works beautifully. And as soon as I get that up and out, hopefully I'll have that out for you guys by the next podcast. So that way, if you guys wanted that, you could just send me your email address and I'll shoot you the PDF. The other thing that I love, and I've had this for a little while, so it's not an acquisition, but it's the first time that you guys are seeing it. But these are Clover, they're pattern chart marker set. So it comes in a long one and a short one. So I can work this, if I'm working a chart, like I could put it this way here, or I can use the smaller one and there you go. Like you can move it down your page, but then your pattern will show up right in here. And it's magnetic, so it's really easy to move. I wouldn't say that, if you put this in your bag, it's probably gonna move, but as you're working on it, it doesn't move. So if I were to, kind of fold this up, put it in my bag, when I come back, this will most likely have moved. It will not have kept my spot. So if you need it to keep your spot, maybe mark it with a pencil. But I really do like this. It was really nice when I was working on the Barnstable shawl, because each line was so different. There was no pattern to memorize. I just had to read each pattern or read each line and do it as it says. And once I got working on the line, then it was quick, but it wasn't an easy to pick up and see what was next. But so those are my two tips. Get yourself a chart marker set. I know Knit Picks has them. They have like a little magnetic set, but I got these on Amazon. They were fairly inexpensive. I don't like 10, 12 bucks or something for both of them, for both of the set. And they're easy to stick in the bag with me as well. They're not going to break. It's not the other thing that I was looking at was like this book that you put your pattern in, and it has little magnets for you to mark where you're at. And I feel like that would work fine if I didn't knit so much on the go. But I knit so much on the go that contraption would not have fit in my project bags very easily. So that's why I went with this one. I just did my research and went with that one there. So next, the last thing before I let you all go is a shop update. So I feel super blessed to have people checking out my shop and people purchasing my Star Wars yarns. So if you haven't gone over to my shop yet, go check me out at Etsy. I'm Just Yarn and Designs on Etsy. The thing that I don't have in the shop yet, I don't know why, it's just kind of been a crazy week, but are my bags. So I showed these the last podcast, but I'm going to be putting these up in the Ravelry shop this week. So, and remember, I'm doing a giveaway for anybody who purchases some yarn out of my shop. Then I will enter your name into a giveaway for one of these bags. So I'm giving away 3 bags, 1 each. So, and if you want to, since the bags are coming up this week, I'll extend the giveaway to a bag as well. So if you buy a bag, I'll put your name in for the drawing as well. But I am going to extend the giveaway just because with just getting up and running, I want more people to have a chance to be entered into that drawing. So go check me out, and if you find something on Etsy that you like, and it's a kickoff colorway and it's a pre-order. I do have some already made up, ready to go out, but if it gets past those, then I will make some more this week and get those out. So let's keep the giveaway open till how about April 15th, Tax Day, because I'm sure that we could all use a little pick-me-up on Tax Day. So I'll announce the winners then, maybe on the 16th, since I'll keep it open all the way through the 15th. But so go check out my shop, and hopefully I can get some new colorways up and running. I'm working on a couple other ones right now too. So thank you guys so much for coming and checking me out, come and hang with me. I feel like this is a good amount of time for the podcast. So, my goal was to try to be around 30, 45 minutes for you guys. Sometimes it'll be longer, sometimes it'll be shorter. But this is me. This is what I'm all about, what I'm working on. And, please find me on Instagram, tag me in pictures that you guys are working on. I really love to see what you guys are working on. Tell me a little bit about yourself, give me some feedback. But I'm loving the knitting community out there. So keep comments coming, keep suggestions and ideas coming. See you guys in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.